The room was silent, so silent. I could hear the rain tapping against the windows. Rowan still hadn't moved. His hand hovered inches from mine as though he wanted to reach for me but was terrified of what might happen if he did. I stared at him. What do you mean? It happened again? He didn't answer. Instead, he slowly looked down at the bouquet lying between us. Several white lilies had been crushed during my fall. His expression tightened. I'm sorry. I frowned. Stop apologizing. His eyes closed. I can't. Why? Because I've never been able to. I pushed myself into a sitting position. Every muscle in my body ached. The memory of the sword piercing my chest still felt painfully real. I instinctively touched my shirt. No blood, no wound, nothing. Yet, the pain lingered. I looked back at Rowan. I saw you. He remained silent. You were wearing armor. Silence. You called my name. Silence. You said... My voice faltered. You were too late. His shoulders stiffened. For several seconds, neither of us spoke. Finally, he whispered, I always am. The words settled over the room like falling snow. I couldn't explain why, but hearing them hurt, not because they frightened me, because they sounded unbearably lonely. I slowly stood. I think you should explain. His silver eyes met mine. I've wanted to. Then why haven't you? His smile was small, painful, because every time I tell you, you leave. I blinked. What? You stop believing me. You think I've lost my mind. And eventually, you disappear. A chill crawled up my spine. What are you talking about? Rowan looked away. Nothing. The answer only frustrated me more. I took a step closer. Who are you? My name is Rowan. I already know that. What don't I know? He remained perfectly still. Then, he quietly asked, do you believe in fate? I laughed softly. I believed in flowers. I believed in hard work. I believed in making enough money to pay my rent. I've never believed in fate. His expression softened. You used to. But only love can make a place feel like home. Before I could respond, the bell above the shop door rang. An elderly customer peeked inside. Oh dear. I didn't realize you were still open. I looked toward the clock. Nearly an hour had passed. Had we really been standing there that long? I'm sorry, I said. We're actually closing. She smiled kindly. I'll come back tomorrow. As she left, I turned around. Rowan was already walking toward the door. Wait, he stopped. You're leaving? Yes. You still haven't answered me. I know. Then when will you? He rested one hand on the doorknob. When you're ready to hear it. The bell chimed softly. Then he was gone. That night, I didn't dream. For the first time in years, there was only darkness, no battlefield, no snow, no crying alpha. Nothing. Somehow, that frightened me even more. The following morning, I skipped breakfast. Instead, when I walked straight to the city's oldest library, if Rowan refused to explain, perhaps history would. The librarian was an elderly Omega with silver hair tied neatly into a bun. She smiled warmly as I approached. Looking for something unusual today. I hesitated. Books about recurring dreams. Her smile faded. Dreams? And, I lowered my voice, past lives. For a long moment, she simply stared at me. Then, without saying another word, she disappeared between the shelves several minutes later. She returned carrying an old leather-bound book. Dust covered its faded cover. She placed it gently on the desk. This one isn't available for borrowing. It's very old. I looked down. Across the front, barely visible beneath the cracked leather, were 4 words, the Chronicle of Returning Souls. I carried the heavy book to a quiet corner of the library. Its pages were yellow with age. Some were so fragile they crumbled beneath my fingertips. Most of the stories sounded impossible. Souls reborn across centuries. Lovers finding each other lifetime after lifetime. Kings remembering wars that history had forgotten. Then, one paragraph caught my attention. Someone had underlined it centuries ago. When two destined souls meet again, forgotten memories awaken through touch. The first vision is never complete. Each memory returns stronger than the last, until the final truth can no longer be forgotten. I felt my stomach tighten. Touch, every vision, had begun after touching Rowan. Interesting choice. A voice behind me made me jump. I turned. The librarian stood quietly beside my table. She wasn't looking at me. She was looking at the book. "My grandmother used to tell me stories from this manuscript," she said softly. I forced a smile. "You actually believe this?" She looked at me for a long moment. Then, she asked a question that made my blood run cold. "You've started remembering someone, haven't you?" I froze. She sighed. "I've seen that look before." "What look?" "The look of someone whose past has begun catching up to them." My heartbeat quickened. "What do you mean?" Instead of answering, she gently closed the ancient book. Then she whispered, "Be careful." Not every soul wants fate to repeat itself. The moment those words reached me, the world seemed to stop. The laughter of children playing nearby disappeared. The sound of the river beneath the bridge faded. Even the breeze died. Only the stranger's voice remained. "We finally found you." A strange uneasiness settled deep inside my chest. Found me? Who were they? Before I could think any further, Rowan started running. "Caelan!" I'd never seen him lose his composure before. His calm expression was gone for the first time. He looked terrified, not worried, terrified. The three cloaked figures turned toward him almost lazily, as if they had expected him to interfere. The man in the center chuckled. Still protecting him, his voice carried effortlessly across the bridge. "Some things never change." Rowan ignored him. Within seconds he reached me, stepping between me and the strangers. His body blocked my view completely. "Go," I frowned. "What?" "Run. I'm not leaving you." His shoulders stiffened. "Caelan." His voice was quieter now, more desperate. "Please." I had never heard someone say one word with so much fear. One of the cloaked men laughed. "You really believe you can protect him this time? This life won't be any different." Rowan's fists clenched. "I won't let history repeat itself." The stranger tilted his head. "You've said that before." Something flickered through my mind. A flash. Snow. Fire. The sound of steel striking steel. A man laughing. The exact same laugh. Pain shot through my temple. I grabbed my head. "No!" Another flash. A crimson banner waving above a battlefield. Thousands of soldiers. Someone shouting, "Protect the healer!" Then darkness. "Caelan!" Rowan caught me before I lost my balance. The moment his hand touched mine, another memory surfaced. Not a battlefield. A garden. Cherry blossoms drifting through warm spring air. I was laughing. Someone stood beside me. Rowan, only he looked younger, happier. He reached into his pocket and held out a tiny silver pendant shaped like a lily. "I made this for you," I smiled. "You made it yourself?" "I nearly lost a finger doing it." I laughed harder. "It shows." He pretended to look offended. "I spent 3 weeks on it." "It's crooked." "I know. But you'll still wear it." "I'll wear it forever." The memory disappeared as suddenly as it had come. I looked down instinctively. Around my neck. Nothing. But for a split second, I could almost feel the weight of the pendant resting against my chest. The stranger watched us with amusement. The memories are returning faster than expected. His companions nodded. It won't be long now. Rowan slowly stood. His entire body had become rigid. What do you want? The stranger smiled. You know exactly what we want. No, I won't let you near him. You don't have a choice. I do. You couldn't protect him then. You won't protect him now. The words hit Rowan like physical blows. For a heartbeat, I thought he might actually lose control. Instead, he took a slow breath. You should leave. The stranger chuckled. You've become softer. I remember when the commander of the Royal Guard would have drawn his sword before speaking. Commander. The title echoed inside my head. Another memory. Rowan standing in brilliant silver armor, thousands of soldiers kneeling before him, a royal banner fluttering behind his back. He wasn't just a knight, he commanded all of them. My breathing became uneven. Rowan. He didn't turn around. Is that true? Silence. Were you a commander? The stranger answered before Rowan could. He still hasn't told you? He laughed. Interesting. You've spent 800 years searching for him, and you're still too much of a coward to tell him who he really is. Rowan's voice became dangerously cold. Enough. Oh. You don't want him remembering. The stranger's smile widened. Or are you afraid he'll remember how he died? Everything went silent. Rowan didn't deny it. He didn't answer. He simply stood there, motionless. That silence terrified me more than anything the stranger had said. I stepped around Rowan until I could see his face. His eyes were closed. Rowan, how did I die? His breathing stopped. For several long seconds, neither of us moved. Finally, he whispered, I wasn't there. The words barely reached me. I arrived too late. Before I could ask anything else, a deafening church bell echoed through the city. Once, twice, 3 times. The cloaked figures exchanged glances. The stranger sighed dramatically. Our time is up. He looked directly at me. We'll meet again soon, Caelan. This story has never ended well for you. The 3 figures slowly stepped backward. The evening mist swallowed them whole. Within moments, they were gone, as though they had never existed. Neither Rowan nor I spoke. We simply stood on the bridge. The last rays of sunlight disappeared beyond the rooftops. Finally, I broke the silence. Who were they? Rowan didn't answer immediately. When he finally spoke, his voice sounded older somehow. They're ghosts, I frowned. Ghosts? Not the dead. He slowly turned toward me. They're the last survivors of the kingdom that killed you. I stared at him. My heart pounded. What? He looked toward the darkening horizon. They've been hunting us. For 800 years. A cold wind swept across the bridge. For the first time, I realized something that made my blood run cold. If Rowan had truly been searching for me, for 8 centuries, then those men had been searching too.